We don't usually get a lot of this, but Dan Campbell is getting some heat.
You are Locked On Lions, your daily Detroit Lions podcast. Part of the Locked On Podcast Network, your team every day.
Welcome in, everybody. Matt Dery with you. It is Locked On Lions, Locked On Podcast Network, your team every day, and the number one sports podcast network, Locked On Podcast Network. Thanks for making us your first listen, checking us out wherever you get your podcasts. Shout out to our everydayers that are out there that watch or listen to the podcast daily. Met a big Lions fan today. Got to give him a little love and shout him out. The great Sam Bernard. Yes, Prophet Samuel. Check out his music. And by the way, announcement coming soon for our everydayers about an everydayers club. Stay tuned for that. But thanks for being with us. Locked On Lions for today. Brought to you by our friends at FanDuel. Right now, new customers can bet just $5. And if your bet wins, you'll get $300 in bonus bets to use across the app. Fans upset with Dan Campbell. Many second guessing Dan's decision to go for it on fourth down. Not once, not twice, not three times, not four times, but five times. Heck, a national pundit says the Lions are never winning with Dan Campbell and Jared Goff. I'll tell you about that coming up momentarily. Pro Football Focus grades are out. Not pretty for certain Lions. We'll give you the top five and bottom five from PFF on offense and defense from last night's 16-9 loss in Philly coming up. As well, injury updates. Good news. Lions getting some key members back on their defense. We will get into that as well. Also got to talk about the NFC North and why I think the Lions still have a very good chance to win the division. Well, all of that coming up right here on this Monday edition of Locked On Lions. The great Nick Baumgardner going to join us tomorrow from theathletic.com. Talk to Nick about all things Lions. Of course, check out his stuff at theathletic.com as well. All right, so Dan Campbell met with the media today. He said, look, there are some play calls I wish I had back. There are some decisions I made that I wish I had back. But he still believes in being aggressive on fourth downs. He thinks that the Lions are not going to change how they play, how they attack. He likes what they do and is sticking with it. So he's defending himself a little bit on the fourth downs. Did say there were a couple of play calls he did not like, including like a run play on second and short, running left that got no yards that he kicked himself about. But Dan Campbell's not going to change. He's going to be the gambling man. He's going to be Dan Gamble. He's going to bypass Jake Bates sometimes to go for it in certain situations. Last night, yes, the take the points crowd was ticked off. But as I said last night on our Sunday show, and I'll say again today, the more I watch, the more the Lions did not execute on some of those fourth downs, including the fake punt where Grant Stewart just jumped into the line of scrimmage like it was a ball pit, and Jared Goff missing Brock Wright, Brocktober, Brock Party, alone for a touchdown that would have been a fourth down conversion. Goff didn't see him, instead threw it wide to Amon-Ra St. Brown. Dan Campbell said today that it's coming. He knows that the synergy between Goff and St. Brown, it's coming back. It will be there. He knows it. Lions are, I'm not saying they're running out of time, but we're getting to the back end of the schedule here. Giants, Packers, Cowboys, all at the friendly confines of Brush and Adams coming up the next 3 weeks. Then at the Rams, hosting the Steelers, at the Vikings, at the Bears to end the season. Lions are playing 3 games in 12 days coming up. And then at the end of the year, of course, they have 2 games in 4 days or 5 days when we're talking about Pittsburgh and then Minnesota. But they're at home for 4 of the next 7. And this is where they got to make their hay right here with the Giants and Cowboys and Packers. That Thanksgiving Day game is going to be a big one. Lions can get that. They can rattle off 3 straight wins here. They really, really should, to be quite honest with you. But Dan Campbell getting some heat. And as I mentioned before, some national folks beginning to pile on. That includes Adam Shine on Sports. Another fantastic phone call. If you listen to the Shine on Sports radio program on Sirius XM, Mad Dog Sports Radio, I believe he's on 9 to noon. Adam Shine today, and I'm not going to play the audio, also a WAER man, Adam Shine, Syracuse. Quote, the Detroit Lions can never win a championship with Dan Campbell and Jared Goff. End quote. Shine went on to throw in the old Jared Goff can't play in cold weather bit, which is not true. Jared Goff has won plenty of games in cold weather. Is he great in cold weather? You know when Jared Goff's not great? When he's pressured. Jared Goff isn't great when the pocket collapses. And the more I watched the game and rewatched the game last night at 2 a.m. after doing my show, the more, yes, Jared Goff had a bad game. All right. Jared Goff's passing percentage, completion percentage was below 40%. He came into the game plus 70%. And I can read you every stat that my crack research staff has sent me about Jared Goff and about how Rusty Hilger in 1988 was the last time the Lions had a completion percentage of 37 attempts or more in a game be that low. But I got news for you, ladies and gentlemen. The offensive line needs work. And Brad Holmes has done a tremendous job with this team, and he is a fantastic general manager. But you look at some of these picks over the last handful of years, whether it was Giovanni Manu, who can't play, Broderick Martin, who couldn't play, Isaac Teslaw, who this year, for a third-round pick and using draft capital to move up to get him, is not a factor in games. And the Lions' offensive line is meh right now. Tate Ratledge gets a pass. He had a huge game in Baltimore a few weeks ago. He was great against the Browns. I believe in that young man as a second-round pick. He looked like a rookie last night. He was god-awful. The center is a stopgap. That's all Graham Glasgow is. He is filling in for the retired Frank Ragnow. He is not the future at that position. Your left guard is hurt in Christian Mahogany, so you're forced to play a backup in Coyote Iwashika. He's fine. So we've got stopgap, rookie, and fine in the middle of your offensive line right now. Your left tackle appears to be on his last legs. Taylor Decker, and I'll be interested in looking at the PFF grades. Taylor Decker's fine too, okay? But he's got a shoulder problem, a knee problem. He's not 100%. And we know how good Penei Sewell is. Look, I'm giving Penei Sewell a pass. Maybe last night wasn't his best game, but man, is he good. He's damn good. Nobody in the offense played well last night, except Jahmyr Gibbs. And here's another thing. You could blame Jared Goff. You could say the Lions will never win. If that's your opinion, I think it's wrong. The Detroit Lions were 30 minutes away from a Super Bowl a couple years ago. Did Dan Campbell butcher some of the calls on the go for it and the field goal bypassing in San Francisco? Sure, you can make that argument. Did Jared Goff not make some throws and they needed him to make throws in that game? Yes, sure. But to sit here and say they'll never win with Dan Campbell and Jared Goff, or the quote from Adam Shine, the Detroit Lions can never win a championship with Dan Campbell and Jared Goff, is preposterous. Dan Campbell is a gambler, right? But just last week, after the Washington game, everybody was singing his praises. Man, took over play calling duties. He's the boss. He knew what was right. They put up 44 points. Now, of course, the Commanders' defense is freshman football. It's ninth grade. All right. The Eagles are the real deal. And they've allowed 16 points in 2 weeks. That defense is ferocious. Now all of a sudden, Dan can't win with them. Really? Really? I don't buy that. I don't buy it at all. John Gruden won a Super Bowl. All right. The same guy that right now is basically blackballed from football. No one wants to hire him. All right. Not every coach that has won a Super Bowl is Vince Lombardi or Bill Belichick. All right. You get on a roll, you get on a run. And I'm not even taking a shot at Dan Campbell. My point is, I don't agree with that. I think they can win a championship with those guys. What are we talking about right now in the division? Benedict Johnson and Caleb Williams are up in the division. Great. What if the Bears are for real? You'll have a rookie head coach that's never done it again, and a quarterback that yesterday they interviewed after the game. Why? At a passer rating of 60. He didn't even throw for 200 yards. The Bears win yesterday had nothing to do with Caleb Williams. There's a lot of parity in this league. There's a lot of good teams, but who scares you? Are you terrified of the Rams? Oh my God, the Seahawks are so good. Diesel, Seahawks. Oh yeah, Mike McDonald and Sam Darnold. Ooh, I'm shaking. Oh, I don't know if the Lions can play this. McVay, genius. All the Lions have done the last couple of years is beaten Sean McVay. If Campbell and Goff the rest of the year stink up the joint and they don't make the playoffs and these guys look clueless, I'll tell you. But to sit here and say you can't win a championship? Wrong. That was a bad night last night. They had a bad night and they've lost 4 games. But guess what? We all said it at the start of the year. I'm going way over here. They weren't going to win 15 games again. They go 5-2 the rest of the way, add it up. It comes to 11-6, which is what many of us predicted at the start of the season. All right, coming up next, I'm going to calm down and we'll do the PFF grades. Locked On Lions, Monday edition. If you're still overpaying for wireless, it's time to say yes to saying no. At Mint Mobile, their favorite word is no. No contracts, no monthly bills, no overages, no hidden fees, no BS. I said yes to making the switch and getting premium wireless for just $15 a month. Mint makes it simple. All plans come with high-speed data and unlimited talk and text delivered on the nation's largest 5G network. You can even bring your own phone and keep your same number and contacts. All right. Mint Mobile's awesome. The setup is super easy. You kept your number and then you're running in minutes. Ready to say yes to saying no? Make the switch at mintmobile.com/LockedOnNFL. That's mintmobile.com/LockedOnNFL. You get that same quality service you had before, but for a fraction of the price. mintmobile.com/LockedOnNFL. Upfront payment of $45 required, equivalent to $15 a month. Limited time new customer offer for first 3 months only. Speeds may slow above 35 gigabytes on unlimited plan. Taxes and fees extra. See Mint Mobile for details. Locked On Lions, Locked On Podcast Network, the #1 sports podcast network. Matt Dery with you. Been with you for 10 seasons, folks. 10 seasons. Lions are going to be okay. Am I a little worried? Sure. I don't like Sam LaPorta being out 4 weeks. I don't like the offensive line struggling. I don't like the quarterback struggling. This defense is playing well. They're gonna get this together. Are they going to beat Philly in the NFC Championship game? I don't know. Didn't look like it last night. We had seven more games. They're going to win this week. I don't care if Jackson Dart's coming back or not. They will beat the Giants. Patricia Train of Locked On Giants Thursday for the crossover, as we do each and every Thursday. Okay. Pro Football Focus, top 5 and bottom 5 Lions from last night's game on offense and defense, and the 16-9 loss to the Philadelphia Eagles. Philadelphia. On offense, 5th highest graded Lion on offense last night was Taylor Decker, 65.7 grade. Amon-Ra St. Brown, 4th highest at 66.8. It's random. Jameson, he didn't do anything. Jameson Williams, 67.2. Jahmyr Gibbs, 2nd highest grade at a 71.6, including 91.5 in the pass game. And David Montgomery, A 73.6 was the highest graded Lion. So your highest graded on offense didn't even crack 80. Normally we're talking in the 90s for the highest graded players. Your 5 worst Lions on offense from Pro Football Focus from last night. Number 5, Khalif Raymond, 51.4. That doesn't even count as special teams, which he had a bad night. Brock Wright, 51.2. I'm going to get to him in a second. Coyote Awashika, 47.8 at left guard. Jared Goff, second lowest grade, 42.5. And I said it last night, and I said it at the start of the show. The lowest graded Lion on offense was Tate Ratledge. He had a bad game. 35.8 grade, including a pass blocking grade of 19.3. Holy crap. Rough night for Tate, and he was injured too. Those are your top 5 and bottom 5 on offense. On defense, and again, you got to play at least 10 snaps. Highest graded Lions, 5th highest graded Lion on defense, DJ Reader, 69.6. Aiden Hutchinson, 72.5, 4th highest. Rock Yassin, 3rd highest, 73.4. Brian Branch, 73.6, 2nd highest. And Jack Campbell, the best grade on the Lions defense, no surprise, a grade of 74. Lowest graded Lions on defense last night in the loss to the Eagles. Gaines Media poster boy, Alex Anzalone, 57.5. Tyler Lacey, 56.9. I don't want to pick on Tyler Lacey, but I never hear his name called other than like in the introductions. Al-Qadim Muhammad, 54.1. Amik Robertson, second lowest grade, 52.0. I thought that's low. I thought Amik Robertson played well last night. Okay, I guess not. Derek Barnes, lowest graded Lion, 47.7. At least the lowest graded Lion on defense. And real fast, too, going back to the offense, the Lions are in desperate need of some help at tight end because missing Sam LaPorta for the next 4 weeks, and Dan Campbell said today, or at least last night, that the hope is that LaPorta, it's just 4 weeks, and that he'll be back with some rest with the back injury. But Brock Wright is not it. And his run blocking, Brock Wright has struggled. All right. Again, last night, a 51.2 grade. So for the season, he's at 51.3. And last night, his pass blocking grade was a 23.4. Excuse me. I'm sorry. Yes. Pass blocking grade was 23.4. Run blocking grade, 69.1. For the season, Brock Wright's pass blocking grade is at a 50.6. Not getting it done. He has been in the 50s now the last 3 games for grades. His highest graded game this year was the Bears game at 74.6. But in the 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. In the 10 games that Brock Wright has played, he is graded out in the 50s, which is low. 1, 2, 3, 4, 50s or below. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 of the 10 games he's been in the 50s or below. 2 games in the 40s. Sam LaPorta, grades in the 70s normally. So while Brock Wright was alone in the end zone for a apparent touchdown that Jared Goff didn't hit him on, got to get better right now. These guys have got to improve. It's a big drop off when you're going from Sam LaPorta to Brock Wright. It just is. So that's a big loss. Hopefully he's back for the Rams game. That's the hope. All right, injury updates. Good news from Dan Campbell today. DJ Reed and Malcolm Rodriguez, Campbell believes, will be back and is expecting them to be back for the Giants game this Sunday. Quote, DJ Reed looks pretty positive here. We're going to get him a week of work here, see where he's at. Rodrigo is looking better. He's getting better every day. So probably Reed and Rodrigo right now would be at the top of that list. They're starting Khalil Dorsey's clock, the backup cornerback. He's going to be on the practice field this week. Marcus Davenport, Josh Paschal are getting better, which is good. Kirby Joseph, unsure. Likely going to miss his 5th straight game. As Campbell said, it's still a little bit of a while for Kirby Joseph. Look, the defense has really played well. No Kirby Joseph last night. No Terrion Arnold last night. No DJ Reed last night. Those guys stepped up. Thomas Harper, Rock Yassin, Amik. I thought you held the Eagles to 16 points in their crib. I think you'll take that. The issue's not the defense. And the special teams has got to clean it up. My gosh, the kick return game is pathetic. Can we get Jamison Williams back on kick return? I know it's J-Mo and he's so good. And you don't want him to get hurt and you're risking it. I want to see it. I want to see Jamison Williams on kick returns. Khalif Raymond is fine on punt returns. Kick returns, he's trying to do too much, but the blocking hasn't been there and it's been a bit of a struggle. And return coverage hasn't been good either. All right, NFC North, the Lions are currently in gulp 3rd place, but I've got good news. We'll do it next. Locked On Lions, this Monday edition, proudly brought to you by FanDuel. NBA is back. No better place to get in on the action than FanDuel, official sports betting partner of the NBA. Even if you missed the start of a game or want to ride the hot hand, FanDuel has live bets on everything from who will score next to 4th quarter comebacks. Plus, you can even combine your live bets into a same-game parlay for a shot at a bigger payout. I know my Pistons fans, my friends like Jake the Snake Bonderick, Dawn Bonderick, Maddie Style, Dylan Englund, they love their Pistons. They're playing great basketball. They're playing tonight against Rick Nation and the Indiana Pacers. Want to put some money down on the action? It's simple. Go to FanDuel. FanDuel keeps every game exciting, especially when your team's making that late push. Right now, FanDuel is giving new customers $300 in bonus bets when your first $5 bet wins. So head to FanDuel.com, sign up, and play your game with FanDuel, the official sports betting partner of the NBA. All right, back on a Monday, Locked On Lions. Nick Baumgartner from theathletic.com will join us tomorrow. I have the trusty schedule for the Detroit Lions right here. And while everybody's freaking out, not everybody, some people, oh my God, the Lions are in 3rd place. That's correct. Bears are 7-3. Touchdown Bears. Packers 6-3-1. Lions 6-4. But if you take a look at the schedule, and you take a look at the entirety of the schedule, the Bears and Packers are playing each other in a couple of weeks, twice in 3 weeks. That they'll cancel each other out. That's a good sign. All right. And for all the trash talk that Ben Johnson had for Matt LaFleur this offseason, I think Green Bay is going to take those games very personally. Give the Bears credit. All right. They just find a way to win every week. Yes, they've trailed with under 2 minutes to go, and 5 of those wins that they have out of 7, the worm will turn. I'm not buying Ben Johnson's done a really good job. Look, he's done a good job. They believe in Chicago. Defense is good. I'm still not buying Caleb Williams yet. But I look at this division, and I see that the Bears have to play in Philly. All right? I see that the Packers might be without Josh Jacobs now, already without Tucker Kraft. A lot of smoke about Matt LaFleur's future there. Meantime, Lions play 4 of the last 7 at home. Giants, Packers, Cowboys in a row, all at home. You know that December 4th, Thursday night, Amazon Prime game, night game during the week on a Thursday night. You know the crowd's going to be bonkers. Dallas, we'll watch them tonight against the Raiders. They're no good. Got to take advantage right here, right now. All of these home games are winnable. The Lions will be favored in all of them. Giants, Packers, Cowboys, Steelers. Aaron Rodgers might be out a while. Right? Road games are not going to be easy at the Rams, at the Vikings. J.J. McCarthy only seems to play well in the fourth quarter or the entire game when it's against the Lions. And then, of course, week 18 at the Bears. But the Lions have been there, all right? They've been there. They've done this. They've won the division 2 years in a row. It is theirs until someone else takes it. And I think they're not playing great football right now. We talked about the struggles with the offensive line. I mentioned the tight end. Amon-Ra, 12 targets last night, 2 catches. It's not going to happen. Again, it won't. I think this team's going to get into a nice rhythm here. Being at home the next 3 weeks is key, not having to travel. And I still think that they're in the driver's seat, despite the fact they are a game back of the Bears and half game back of the Packers right now. I still like their chances. I do. But they got to play better. And they got to clean some stuff up. Like I mentioned, special teams and other stuff. And I think they will. And it starts this week with a pretty bad Giants team that's 2-9. If you look at the Giants' weapons, and if Jackson Dart comes back, that will definitely be an upgrade for them, other than Russell Wilson or Jameis Winston. But not having Cam Scattaboo hurts. Their receivers are bad. Very, very important game this Sunday that the Lions should win. They just should. All right, Nick Baumgardner from theathletic.com is going to join us tomorrow. Thanks, everybody, for making us your first listen and checking us out wherever you get your podcasts. We'll do the crossover on Thursday with the G-Man coming into town. Locked On Podcast Network, your team every day. Thanks, everybody. See you tomorrow.